A teacher who had taught for many, many years, this year had the most difficult and challenging class that she's ever experienced, and it was a group of seniors. And she said, you know, when there were paper airplanes flying around and some spitballs and some good-natured kind of razzing or kidding, she said, I could keep them under control. But she said, pretty soon the name-calling started, and I was really very fearful that this whole thing in the class could deteriorate into something just very, very nasty. So she had the students take out a piece of paper, and she did this very seriously. She said, I'm going to ask you to do something. I'm going to read all of your responses, and you're going to get a grade for this. And there was silence in the classroom. So she asked them to write down the name of each student in the classroom and to leave space on the paper between the names. And they did that. And they all wrote down, and she said, I want you to write something good and positive about each one of your classmates. And at the end of the day, she collected the papers. The next day, she returned to class, and she passed out the papers to all of the students. And she said it was incredibly unusual that there was absolute silence in the classroom as they read all of the good comments and all of the positive attributes of their fellow classmates. She said absolute silence. And then she said, at the end of the class, one of the students kind of timidly came forward and gave her a piece of paper, and her name was at the top of it. And then each one of the students in that class had written down all of her good qualities as they saw them and all of her attributes. She said absolute silence, this was done. Now, I mention that story today because this is the day where we celebrate, and as you just heard in the gospel, the transfiguration of the Lord. And I think you would agree that that experience in the classroom was really also a transfiguring experience for those students, where what was good, what was positive in those students finally came to light and kind of put aside all of the negative behaviors that was going on. So the message for the scriptures today for all of us is that we can be instruments of transfiguration as well. Now you might say to yourself, I'm homebound, I really can't get out at all, or I don't get out very much. And I always come back to the same place. I believe that you all can transfigure your family, you can transfigure our church, you can transfigure your parish, you can transfigure our world through your prayers. Your prayers can make a huge difference in people's lives and really be transfiguring for all of them. May God bless you.